How do? He's gone. I'm up on the pit site, guys. It is quite windy. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. So today I'm going to talk about Sally Ann Dixon. You can see his tail wagging in the background. Sally Ann Dixon is a convicted paedophile. I first became aware of this woman, transgender woman, this week. There's been a lot of outcry on social media. That happened because Sussex Police put a tweet out about a woman being convicted of historic cases. This Sally Ann Dixon. Sally Ann Dixon started transitioning, became transgender in 2004. Previously, historic cases as a man, horrendous cases, received a 20-year prison sentence. In the articles, legally, it says Sally Ann Dixon is still a man. However, Sally Ann Dixon has gone to a woman's prison. So at the end, there is literally 3 minutes of me in the office, 2 clips from 2 articles, one saying about the prison move and it's already problematic, the other one saying about the police, playing identity politics and the like. So, have I ever come across transgender prisoners? That's men to women. Yes, I have. 2, 1 you would never have known. When I was speaking to her, she told me, lived as a transgender person for about 10 years, got an unexpected prison sentence, still lived with the wife. They decided as a couple, if she had come into prison as a transgender prisoner, man to woman, it would have been problematic. So chose to spend the 6 months sentence as a man and not a transgender woman. I found that out by accident. We had a very sort of deep conversation, got a good understanding of what was going on. The other person, the other transgender woman, I first met in the private sector and I would later meet in the public sector. This individual, I'm just going to show you. This individual, it is beautiful, guys. This individual, as a man, was convicted of being a serial rapist and also raped and murdered his girlfriend. In prison, this individual, this man, decided he was going to be a transgender woman. Very violent and dangerous individual. Once she declared she was a transgender woman, she was treated with dignity and decency and given the sort of space and privacy that you would imagine. At Strangeways, this transgender woman, was located on the VP wing, that's vulnerable prisoner wing, mostly sex offenders. And don't forget, as a man, this woman was a sex offender and murderer. And yeah, allowed to shower on her own and again given privacy and decency. She would later move on to a woman's prison. So let me just talk for me what my solution will be. It's very problematic, this. I believe I read there is only a handful of transgender women, that's men to women, in women's jails. There is quite a few more transgender women in the prison system. You build a therapeutic community. Yeah, it is that simple. You build a therapeutic community. That community you can put, I hope you can hear me, guys, with the wind. That therapeutic community, you would put all your resources. You could put out a notice for staff to work within that transgender women's therapeutic community. You could have all the relevant facilities. I would suggest, obviously, everyone being single cell, but maybe ensuite cells so you get privacy. Yeah, and that would solve a problem. It is an unusual problem. It's something that possibly is going to be more problematic. You know, if you look at world sport, world governing bodies are already making decisions. In America, this is probably the best example. There were two athletes, as men, ranked something like 500 and 600th in their state at their chosen sport, which was running. So, you know, 500th and 600 ranked in the state. They both then identified as women. They started competing in women's sports and they came first and second in every single race for a good few years. That's pushing elite athletes, women, born women, you know, to third place or no podium. Yeah, there's definitely an advantage in sport. That's men to women, trans women, and it's being dealt with as we speak. You know, censors prevailed in swimming, rugby, athletics, and the like. Difficult topic. For me, the most frustrating thing about it is people ignoring facts and science and shouting out and shouting in people's faces and screaming at people and calling people transphobic who are trying to discuss this topic. I'm going to leave it there. I don't know where Lado's gone. I'm going to find him. Like I say, if you would like to read the two articles, and I've only taken little snippets, one condemning the police, you know, for basically politically correct, woke politics or whatever, and the other one, very, very short, just describing problems already that staff are having with Sally Ann Dixon. Stephen? Oh, and he's right behind me. Then beautiful boy. You are stunning and handsome. Thanks for coming. Hope you're having the best weekend possible. I'll see you. Okay, I'm going to read the two articles. If you're not interested in the articles or you want to read them yourself, pinned comment both articles. First one, very short. Revealed the transgender paedophile who Sussex police insisted be called a woman had to move prison wings after starting a relationship with a vulnerable female inmate. Serial paedophile Sally Ann Dixon, 58, identifies a woman but is legally male. Despite controversy, Dixon was sentenced as a woman and sent to a female prison. Shortly after arriving, she had to be transferred to a different wing after starting a relationship with a vulnerable inmate with learning disabilities. I've read you that bit. Second article. Transgender Sally Ann Dixon. Sussex police apologise after Fareham MP and Home Secretary Suella Braverman raps them for playing identity politics over child abuser. A police force has apologised after Fareham MP Suella Braverman accused it of playing identity politics and denying biology around sexual offences committed by a transgender woman years before transitioning. The Home Secretary said Sussex police should focus on catching criminals, not policing pronouns, after the force said it would not tolerate hateful comments about a perpetrator's gender identity. Sally Ann Dixon of Swanmore Road, Lee Park, was jailed for 20 years at Lewes Crown Court on September the 8th after being convicted of 30 indecent assaults, Sussex police said. Some people on Twitter objected to the force referring to Dixon in the headline of its press release as a woman convicted of historic offences against children in Sussex. Responding to the remark, Sussex police tweeted, "It does not tolerate any hateful comments towards their gender identity regardless of crimes committed. This is irrelevant to the crime that has been committed and investigated," it added. In response, Mrs. Braidman tweeted, Sussex Police have done well to put a dangerous criminal behind bars, but they've got it wrong by playing identity politics and denying biology. Focus on catching criminals, not policing pronouns. Now, the force has apologised. We reported factually on the findings of the court, which heard that, at the time of the offences, Dixon was living as a man. John Stephen Dixon, a statement said. The relevant offences were recorded as being committed by a male. An early reply to a comment on Twitter was inconsistent with our usual style of engagement. We apologise for this and have removed the comment. We recognise the rights of the public to express themselves freely within the boundaries of the law. Mrs. Braidman thanked the force for their swift apology and retraction. I'm going to leave that there, guys. I hope you're having the best weekend possible. Thanks for coming. I'll see you.